Welcome to Wear It. Today we have Red Wing 10877 made in the USA. They cost around 330 USD. Only comes in one color, which is this one. It is brown in color and darker than the other 877, and the eyelets are black. The leather feels really nice. It is a little hard to put the boot on as it is gusseted all the way up to the top of the eyelets, so it's a little bit stiff, and the leather itself is not the softest at the moment, and it is nice and thick, so it will be a little bit challenging to break it in than something which is softer. And the stitching on the welt is super tight, and there is little to no glue anywhere on the boot. And spots where you might find glue, you can just scratch it off and just rub it and it will just disappear. The boot is darker in person than what it looks on camera, and there's a tiny bit of gluing that you might find here and there. Other than that, it's very plain right out of the box. The boot itself is unlined, and the laces are not the longest. I would rather have a little bit longer laces, like 80 inches or around that. Inside the boot, there's a thick slab of wedge tan leather. And one thing that I really like about this boot is this whole area right here is actually do have lining, which is the same leather that is on the outside. They use the same exact thickness leather on the inside, so you have double protection in this whole area all around. But there's still no lining in this area, just raw, same leather. And the heel counter, it's a fiberboard heel counter that's inside it, and it's really tiny, I heard. And other than that, it's a wedge sole boot, and the wedge sole they use is by Red Wing. They have their own way of making it. From the back, it's almost identical. Whoever made this boot really took his time and made sure everything is nice and even. And other than that, it's really nice, and I really like how they gusset it all the way up and they stitched this area in. Now let's talk about pros and cons of this boot. Cons of this boot. First of all, the price point. It is a little bit expensive than other boot. It costs around 330 bucks USD. And the other con I have to say is the laces. They are very short. They're not long enough for this boot. Other than that, I've heard people saying that the gluing where the welt, the boot itself, connect to the outsole, it's not very good, and the gluing separates. But I don't know if I will have that problem or not, but we will see. And let's talk about the pros. Pros about this boot. The stitching is very well done, especially the Goodyear welt. It's basically looks perfect. And the leather is super nice. There's no marks on the leather anywhere. There's no dents, no damage. That's really impressive. And the stitching, I can't say it enough. It's just really well done. And I really like the fact they use 2.5 mil leather on the outside, and for the lining where they used it, this whole bottom section they use 2.5 mil leather on the inside too, so that's like 5 mils of leather that is protecting your foot at all time. And I really like the fact they give you a fully gusseted boot. The tongue is going all the way up, will make it night and day difference. In a lot of boots you feel them rocks, that sand coming inside your foot. Not with these. And it isn't easy to do either, because you gotta cut the tongue in a way and then stitch it back onto the boot to make it all look nice and smooth. And they did a really, really good job on it. Let's talk about cons. So one of the biggest cons for me is the price, which is $330. That's the lowest price I've seen. And the laces, they gotta make laces a little bit longer, because they don't have speed hooks. If they gave us speed hooks, they could have gotten away with giving us laces that are not as long. And it does take a lot of effort to put them on and off. And other than that, the triangle, this little triangle that you can just see here and here, they both don't look the same. This one is a little bit shorter and have just the line going up. This one is a proper triangle. Other than that, my only worry is a lot of reviews, a lot of people said that they peel off the sole itself, peel off from the boot, and it's not glued properly. But I don't know if I will have that issue or not, and we'll wait and see. Thank you for watching the video, and see you soon with an update.